Hey guys! I'd like to start by reading Romans 12:1. And so, dear brothers and sisters, I plead with you to give your bodies to God because of all He has done for you. Let them be a living and holy sacrifice, the kind He will find acceptable. This is truly the way to worship Him. This verse tells us the true way to worship and what worship actually is. That we should be a living and holy sacrifice. But how can we both? Isn't the idea of being a living sacrifice just an oxymoron? The original word for sacrifice used in this verse, it means to slay, to kill, to slaughter. So the idea that we can be living and also be a sacrifice can be a bit confusing. How can we both, as I asked? How can we be both? I'd like to suggest that the idea that we're a living sacrifice means that we are in continued devotion. It's a daily choice. The original Greek word for worship used at the end of this verse means to serve. If worship is serving, then I believe that our whole life, it gets to be worship. Our work, our thoughts, our response to feelings, our decision, our relationship, our physical health, and our play. But why? Why do we get to be whole life worshipers? Well, let's start in Colossians 1:16. For through Him, God created everything, in the heavenly realms and on earth. He made the things we can see and the things we can't see, such as thrones, kingdoms, rulers, and authorities in the unseen world. Everything was created through Him and for Him. I'll read that one more time. For through Him, God created everything, in the heavenly realms and on earth. He made the things we can see and the things we can't see, such as thrones, kingdoms, rulers, and authorities in the unseen world. Everything was created through Him and for Him. So what first sticks out to me in this verse is that God created everything. He made everything, so He is worthy. And if we go back to the verse, it finishes by saying, everything was created through Him and for Him. If we were created for Him, that means we are His. Our worship is His. Our life is His. That's why worship is honoring God in every area of your life. Every area. Not just at home, or just in the morning, or only when you're alone. Every area. Worship is also an ever-changing interaction with what God does and who He is. We worship not because we feel like worshiping, but because who God is. He is worthy. Now, that idea might feel like a big thing, whole life worship. But let's take a look at Philippians 2:13. It says this: For God is working in you, giving you the desire and the power to do what pleases Him. And one more time. For God is working in you, giving you the desire and the power to do what pleases Him. God is working in you. The Greek term for the word working used in this verse means active. to put forth his power in you, accomplishing by hand. Not his angels, him. That is his power in you personally, because he loves you. And guess what? We get to love him back. Yes, I said love. Not just obey, love. But it's a choice. If we go back to the verse, it finishes by saying, he gives you the desire and the power to do what pleases him. All we have to do is ask for more of that desire. Ask for more of that power. He's already active in you. This is something that for a while now I've been trying to do every day in my life. Asking for more of the desire and power to worship him, to live for him, to serve for him. So I'd like to invite you to join me in that. To make it a daily choice that you worship him. You're a living sacrifice. You serve for him. We don't worship out of a feeling, but in response to who God is. He is worthy. We worship in response to what he's doing. He is active. And to what he has promised. He has promised, and he is giving you the desire and the power, otherwise put as strength, to do what pleases him. Let me finish with this story from Matthew 22:15-22. The Pharisees met together to plot how to trap Jesus into saying something for which he could be arrested. They sent some of their disciples, along with the supporters of Herod, to meet with him. "Teacher," they said, "we know how honest you are. You teach the way of God truthfully. You are impartial and don't play favorites. Now tell us what you think about this. Is it right to pay taxes to Caesar or not?" But Jesus knew their evil motives. "You hypocrites," he said. "Why are you trying to trap me? Here, show me the coin used for tax." When they handed him a Roman coin, he asked, "Whose picture and title are stamped on him?" "Caesar's," they replied. "Well then," he said, "give to Caesar what belongs to Caesar, and give to God what belongs to God." His reply amazed them, and they went away. Worship is both a sacrifice and offering. It's a choice to give what is his to him. And the only thing we have worthy enough for how worthy he is our whole life. All or nothing. In 1 Corinthians 6, it says this, "Don't you realize that your body is the temple of the Holy Spirit, who lives in you and was given to you by God? You do not belong to yourself, for God bought you with a high price, so you must honor God with your body." Don't you realize that your body is the temple of the Holy Spirit, who lives in you and was given to you by God? You do not belong to yourself, for God bought you at a high price, so you must honor God with your body. The true way to worship him is for our bodies to be a living and holy sacrifice. It's a continual expression of devotion, a continual expression of love for him. That's true worship.